situated to where it should be without having to pull them out of that front line. But let's move on to the next one here, guys, and that's communications from the HC to the player base and the player base to the HC in respects to better coordination and organization. Now, like I pointed out real briefly here a little earlier, we've got ops channel and side channel, and some of us within the HC, we've got the dot allied. Now, one of the things that we've pointed out within the high command is sometimes we move a little too quick on making the attack. We don't have the proper coordination. And what has basically spurred that along is that when we try to get the P1s organized, whether it's a good target or a bad target, when it's selected, we try to give as much support as we can to it. And because who knows, it could turn out to be a good thing. But, you know, we try to give that support. And what's happening is when we get the information out, you know, that anti-tank gun, you know, requesting ATGs and such on this mission here for the P1, we're not getting the amount of support that's needed. And it could be either low population or squads are involved elsewhere or for whatever reasons, there's something going on. And what I want to ask guys is there something that we're missing on the HC that could better communicate these missions across to you guys?
One thing I've noticed, this is RM by the way, one thing I've noticed is dot allies in GMC some of the time is non-existent, number one. Number two, guys do talk on HC channel most of the time. I mean, I was there for 3 years before I had a 2-year break. I went straight up in the RAF where AFA's position is now. I mean, number two, going on to the air battle side of things and squadrons being moved out, etc. Concerning front lines, I mean, I can speak for my squad as a whole. When we are flying, we do tend to win the air battle in most cases, or in most places. You know, if we get shot down, we get straight back in it. And I think the main problem is, on the ground, that isn't happening. They're dying, and then just think, oh, fuck this, you know, this is bullshit, we're getting fucking raped, we'll leave the town, no one spawns in. All of a sudden, you got fucking 5 people defending Liege, for example. 5 fucking people. They give up in 2 seconds, the town's gone. But before that even happens, HC have pulled the brigade out.
Yeah, I agree.
Dot allies are about 5 words long. That's a big problem. My dot allies, when I used to do them, and I haven't got the tool now because AFA's recently placed me back in the RAF HC. My dot allies used to be decent sentences, you know, with full information in it, exactly where to be, exactly where, you know, what to do. But the dot allies, like I say, they're about 5 or 6 words long, and it's not enough information. It just gets lost. It gets lost immediately in the text bar. It's, you know, it's stayed there for 2 seconds, it's gone. It's overlapped and it's gone.
Okay, that's duly noted. Now, one of the things that I've tried to, now on the first respect of that is on the dot allies. Now, we have a very limited amount of officers within the HC that do have the ability for dot allies, which does limit us on that. And maybe we can come up with some way to change that. And of course, that's going to be CRS's call on that with the dot allies. But one of the things that I've been trying to do, and I'm hoping it carries over, and one of the things that we've also been encouraging, is the amount of information that you just mentioned. I occasionally will put across on the dot allies. I'll put out there, you know, basically an allied situation report on what's going on, and I'm hoping, and we are encouraging more information to go into those dot allies for the player base. And
Absolutely.
It's like you said, buddy. If we don't put the right information out there in a professional manner to make it feel like, you know, if you respond to this mission, that, you know, you're making a difference. And the best way to do that is to put the right information across. And it has been recognized.
Absolutely, Lex. I'll just add to what you've just said there, you know, concerning sit reps, dot allies, etc. It's not so much a sit rep on what's going on. What we need to focus on is what we're going to do. That's the thing.
Good point. Very good point.
I mean, basically, that's what I can see. That's my synopsis of the
User entered
situation.
your channel.
We need to, I mean, I agree with, you know, what you've just said, Lex Fire, fully. We need to get the message across, and it needs to be more punctual. And we need to, you know, P1s and stuff, they need to get beaten the shit out of immediately. There's no pissing around, oh, we'll lift a few planes here and there just to catch a couple of EA. We need to get the guys, mainly probably the guys on, you know, on the Allied side that do fly most of the time, get them on the ground as well. You know what I mean? Just get everybody involved, get the town, move on, you know.
Roger that. And one quick point before I call on Voodoo here. I know he wants to jump in and have a comment. Now, one of the things that we are limited on is, and one of the things that we have to do, and that's, you know, per CRS, is we can't force players, as you guys know, as much as we want to. And those of us that's been in the military or still in the military, we know what it's like. You know, when you put an order out, you want them. But like anything else, this is a game. And the best we can do is make, when we put those .allieds out, like you said, get that information out there and put the proper information out to encourage the players to join those missions or to join those AOs.
Okay, Voodoo, oh, sorry, Lexfire. Before Voodoo starts, can I apologize for Voodoo for a conversation we had some time ago? And that's it. I'm out of here.
Okay, roger that. Hey, Voodoo, go ahead, sir.
I think,
like, going on from what RM, the point you made, it's a very valid point. Because, I mean, when you're looking at some of the attacks, you've got red squares, and then you're looking on the ground, you know, you've got maybe single EWS on certain attacks that you're, you know, supposedly P1s, or the defense isn't up to scratch. And really, there's certain leaders in this game, like I remember when Igor was on Allied. You need people like him who they go around. They've got the ability to motivate everyone, and all the player base, they get behind Igor, right? And then you start getting on every day, and people are saying, "Oh, look, it's Igor. Look what he did yesterday. He came in and communicated with us. If we could get everything going, something like that, get everyone behind each other, support each other." When you've got attacks going, and just make it known that, you know, if you need more people from the air to the ground, etc., or if need be, get the air to have a more supporting role, whether that's bombers instead of fighters, or, you know, a bit more multi-arms rather than a bit narrow-minded.
Right, and one of the things, and this is, like I said, and I have a lot of respect for the Axis and what they have done for their community in respects to the GHC or OKW, whichever time zone, or I should say whichever time frame you come into the game. But one of the things that the GHC has done is they have been able to pull the squads and the players in respects to supporting their objectives. And this is what we're also trying to do on the Allied side. And this is why we're having this meeting. And when you have very influential players within the high command, like Igor, as you point out, it carries a long way. You know, we've got the same over here on the Allied side. It's just that we've lost, guys, and I'm going to be blunt. We've lost the player base, and we're wanting to pull you guys back in, and so that we can be a better team as an AHC, as an Allied community, and everything that you guys are saying, we'll be going back through here, and I'm going to be making notes about it so that I can get this posted, and so that we can get these things corrected. But in order for us to make any of the corrections or implement the changes and the suggestions that you guys are making, not only are we going to have to get the AHC's full support on it to get this moving, but we need you guys. The Allied side it's non-existent without you guys. You all are the backbone, period. The AHC is just a tool in game, and without you guys, we don't work. We can't work. Does that make sense, Voodoo?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I think you're covering the majority of it, but then again, there's also that space that's been left from people who have gone. I mean, you know, you're looking at people, I can't even remember his name with a K. It's not Caroline, it was the Navy High Command. There's people like that. They really did just add things to the game, and it's just when they always look to attack, force each other on, you know, the defense, and always add support. But yeah, I think your point's really good.
Right, and guys, believe me, there's nothing more that the AHC wants to do but get on the attack. And you know, there's always the old cliches, you know, the best offense is, you know, is a good defense, or the best defense is a good offense, you know, vice versa. And this just goes back to, you know, what I was saying about some of the things that an officer has to make. What kind of support do I have in game to get an attack going? How much coordination am I getting from the squads or the players? You know, the feedback. And it's something that has to be juggled around. But these attacks can be carried out, and the momentum can be picked up. You know, a monkey can place, an untrained monkey with one arm can place an AO on a town. But without you guys, it's not going to succeed.
You call me a monkey?
Can I just step in? Sorry.
Yes, you are.
Real quick,
Yeah, Lexfire, your PMs are turned off.
Oh, geez.
Lexfire, real quick though. Sometimes, you know what? Playing the game, and sometimes it seems like we're fighting the Axis and we're fighting the AHC at the same time.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the problem. Sounds like we're fighting the Axis and the AHC at the same time when we're trying to do stuff, and all of a sudden stuff gets taken out from underneath us, or certain things.
Left your channel.
You know, and that's why a lot of player plays gets pissed off at the AHC because they're doing things.
User entered your
and
channel.
I'm saying you, but other guys, and then they start arguing back. Well, who wants to argue with our own side? You know, and it gets frustrating.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I agree with you there, Tia. I've seen that mostly every day recently for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, I mean, I haven't played too much lately because I'm tired of that, and I've been playing since the beginning.
Roger that. Svart, can you jump in here, buddy?
I'd like to ask Svart a question as well after Svart is finished.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to point out one thing, that is, we were doing extremely well. You know, we were 5 links away from Köln.
User left your channel.
And then in 1 week the whole thing turned around. So it's obvious that it's something that's not going as it should be. When it comes to you having to fight both Axis and the AHC, my first reaction is, you know, that's not true, because I don't want to believe it, but obviously that's not how it should be. And we'll have to try to fix that as best as we can. You know, if there is an officer you have an issue with, take some screenshots and send it to me. It's, you know, it's the thing that needs to be done, because we can't really. It is hard to make adjustments if you don't know, you know, exactly where the problem is. If you know what I mean.
User left your channel.
I can add to that if you want.
I don't need to go into specific, you know, names and all that kind of stuff now, but we're trying to do a collective effort. But if there's someone you see causing problems all the time, feel free to let us know about it. Yeah, I don't know exactly how to respond to it, because it's a little bit difficult, because, you know, I don't want to believe that my guys are doing stuff like that, but at the same time, I don't think you guys are lying either.
Svart, got a question for you, SRM.
Roger that.
Right, when we took Leeds, do you remember when we did do that? When you got beat, you came down onto channel personally and you said, we're taking Leeds, and then in 15 minutes, BTZ were there, and we took the whole south side of town. We took the 2 south CPs, the army base, and then Bravo 20 went up north and capped the other army base. Do you remember setting that up? There was 4 or 5 different squads involved as well.
Yeah, roger that.
Right, what I can say, and Al was involved as well, absolutely. What I want to say is, why don't we get more of that going? Come down onto the channel. When you see us, I mean, Bravo 20 putting out at least 15 players on every other few hours. It